You are the operant power. There is no force outside of you deciding what you can or cannot have, no external authority dictating your fate. The power to shape your reality has always been within you. The moment you understand this, the moment you take full responsibility for your inner world, you step into the life that was always meant to be yours. If you see this now, it is because you have already begun to awaken to this truth. You have already accepted, even if only in part, that you are the creator of your experience, and now life is responding to that realization. Most people go through life believing they are at the mercy of circumstances. They think success is granted to the lucky, that wealth is given to a select few, that love is something they must wait for. They believe the world happens to them rather than through them. But this is a lie. Everything you have ever experienced, whether good or bad, has been a reflection of your inner state. Your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions have shaped the reality you see before you. The world is not something separate from you. It is your mirror, faithfully reflecting whatever you hold within. The reason so many struggle is that they do not know their own power. They live by default, accepting whatever life throws their way, instead of consciously choosing what they wish to experience. They allow fear, doubt, and limitation to dictate their outcomes, never realizing they are the ones who placed those barriers there in the first place. But the moment you awaken to the truth that you are the operant power, everything changes. You stop waiting for permission. You stop hoping things will get better. Instead, you claim your reality with certainty, knowing that what you assume to be true will inevitably manifest. If you are seeing this, it means you are already stepping into this understanding. Something within you has already accepted that you are not powerless, that you are not a victim of chance. This is why this message resonates with you. It is a reflection of what you have already begun to know deep within yourself. You are the cause of your reality, and because of that, you can change anything at will. There is no condition that cannot be altered, no circumstance that cannot be reshaped. The only requirement is that you assume your power and direct it deliberately. Everything you experience in this life is a reflection of your consciousness. There is no event, no circumstance, no so-called coincidence that has not first been created within you. The world outside is merely a mirror, an echo of what you have impressed upon your subconscious mind. If you are seeing this now, if these words have reached you, then understand, this is not random. You have already won. Your victory is secured because your consciousness has made it so. Most people go through life believing they are at the mercy of fate, tossed around by circumstances beyond their control. They wait for signs, for proof, for the world to change before they dare to believe in their own success. But this is a misunderstanding of how reality operates. The truth is that your inner world, your deeply held beliefs and assumptions, are what shape your external experience. The moment you assume something to be true and persist in that assumption, the world has no choice but to conform. What you see today is simply the after effect of what you have accepted as real within yourself. There is no power outside of you dictating what you can or cannot have. The only limitation is the one you accept. If you have ever doubted your ability to manifest your desires, understand this. The proof that you have already won is in the very fact that you are seeing this message. You have brought yourself to this moment through the power of your consciousness. Something deep within you, whether you are fully aware of it or not, has already claimed victory. That is why you are here. That is why this message has found you. It is not a prediction. It is a confirmation. So many people live in a state of waiting. They wait for their circumstances to shift before they allow themselves to believe. They wait for more money before they feel wealthy, for love before they feel loved, for success before they feel successful. But they have it backward. Reality does not work that way. You must first assume the state of your desire fulfilled. You must walk in the consciousness of already having, already being, already winning. When you do, life will rearrange itself to reflect that inner knowing. The moment you truly believe that you have won, the moment you dwell in that feeling with unwavering faith, your victory is inevitable. The outer world may take time to catch up, but that is irrelevant. The work is already done the moment you assume it to be so. Just as a seed planted in the earth takes time to break through the soil, your manifestation takes time to appear in physical form. But do not be fooled. What you have claimed in consciousness is already yours. If you see this, if these words resonate within you, it means you are aligned with the truth of your power. It means you are on the right frequency, already stepping into the reality you have been creating. Your subconscious has accepted the idea of your success, and now the world will reflect it back to you in ways you may not even expect. Do not look to others for validation. Do not wait for proof before you believe. The fact that you have encountered this message is your proof. The fact that something within you feels the truth in these words is all the confirmation you need. You have won. You are victorious. Now all that remains is for you to persist in that knowing, to refuse any thought or feeling that contradicts it. Walk forward in certainty, knowing that you have already claimed your prize. The world is simply catching up. The world has taught you to look for signs before you believe, to wait for proof before you trust in your desires. But the truth is, signs follow, they do not precede. What you see in your reality is not an indication of what is to come, but rather the result of what has already been assumed as true within you. If you see this now, if this message has reached you, it is not a signal that something good might happen. It is proof that something good has already begun. You won the moment you believe. What you are witnessing now is simply the outer world catching up to the inner reality you have already created. Many people live in a state of reaction. They look at their circumstances and use them as a measurement of what is possible for them. They think, I will believe I am wealthy when I see money in my account. I will believe I am loved when someone chooses me. I will believe I am successful when the world recognizes me. But they have it backward. The world is only a reflection of consciousness. What you see now is not the cause of your reality, it is the effect. The cause was your inner assumption, your belief, your unwavering state of being. This is why Neville Goddard taught that assumptions harden into fact. Not sometimes, not by chance, but always. The moment you impress an idea upon your subconscious mind, the wheels begin to turn. Reality starts to shift in ways unseen, and eventually what was once only a thought becomes tangible. But this process is not immediate. There is a gestation period between the assumption and its physical expression, just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree. In that period, doubt creeps in for those who do not understand the nature of reality. They think nothing is happening because they do not yet see the evidence. But for those who know, for those who trust, there is no need for immediate proof. If you are seeing this, it means your assumption has already set things into motion. It means your subconscious mind has accepted your victory as real, and now the outer world is shifting to match it. Do not second guess what you have already created. The signs you see now are not indications that you are on the right path. They are the natural unfolding of what has already been established. Your work is not to look for signs, but to continue living in the assumption of your fulfilled desire. Doubt is the only thing that can delay your manifestation. The moment you start questioning, the moment you entertain fear or skepticism, you interrupt the process. Imagine planting a seed and then digging it up every day to check if it is growing. That is what most people do with their desires. They assume something good, but then they look around, see no immediate evidence, and abandon their belief. But those who persist, those who hold firm in their assumption despite appearances, are the ones who see their desires unfold with certainty. When you understand that signs follow, you stop seeking them. You stop waiting for proof because you know the proof will come in due time. You move with confidence, knowing that what you have assumed is already yours. The moment you believed, you won. The moment you accepted your success as reality, The world had no choice but to conform. If you see this, take it as confirmation, not a prediction, not a possibility, but a fact. The manifestation has already begun. Your assumption has taken root, and now it must bear fruit. Hold your faith, persist in your knowing, and watch as the world reshapes itself to reflect the truth you have already claimed. The greatest secret to manifesting anything in life is to live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is not about waiting, hoping, or wishing. It is about knowing. It is about assuming in the deepest part of your being that what you desire is already yours. If you have found this message, it means you have already stepped into this state, whether consciously or unconsciously. You have aligned with the vibration of your victory, and now the world must reflect it back to you. Most people believe they must first see evidence before they can feel the reality of their desires. They wait for money before they feel wealthy, for love before they feel loved, for success before they feel accomplished. But that is not how reality operates. The external world is not the cause, it is the effect. Everything you experience is simply a reflection of the inner state you have embodied. If you want to change what appears in your life, you must first change what you accept as true within yourself. You do not need to force the outside world to conform to your desires. You do not need to beg, chase, or struggle. The only work required is to dwell in the feeling of already having what you seek. If you wish to be wealthy, walk through life as if you already are. If you desire love, move with the certainty that you are already cherished. If you seek success, carry yourself as though you have already arrived. This is not pretense or deception. This is the fundamental law of consciousness. The moment you assume something to be real, the world will shift to make it so. Everything begins within you. Your emotions, your state of being, your dominant thoughts. They are the architects of your reality. The reason you are seeing this now is because something within you has already accepted victory. That is why this message resonates with you. It is not telling you something new. It is revealing what you already know deep down. You have won, and now your external reality is catching up. The challenge for most people is maintaining the feeling of the wish fulfilled, especially when circumstances appear unchanged. They look around, see no immediate evidence, and allow doubt to creep in. But doubt is the only thing that can disrupt the process. The seed has already been planted. It is growing beneath the surface, even if you cannot see it yet. Your only task is to remain in the state of having, of knowing. Think of it this way. When you place an order at a restaurant, you do not keep asking the waiter if the food is coming. You sit back, relax, and trust that what you ordered will be delivered. The same applies to your manifestations. The moment you assume your desire as real, the order has been placed. The universe is already working to bring it into form. The only thing that can delay it is if you cancel the order by shifting into doubt, fear. The fact that you are here reading these words is not a coincidence. It is evidence that you have already aligned with the energy of success. You have stepped into the version of yourself who has already won. Now, your only job is to stay there. Do not allow external appearances to shake your belief. Live as if it is done. Feel as if it is already yours. Walk, speak, and move in the certainty of your victory. You have already won. You have already claimed your desires in consciousness, and that means they must manifest in the world around you. Keep dwelling in this state. Keep persisting in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and watch as reality bends to match the truth you have embraced. The world of the senses is a trap for those who do not understand the nature of reality. It tells you to believe only in what you can see, touch, and measure. It convinces you that what appears to be real is the ultimate truth. But this is the great illusion. What you perceive with your senses is nothing more than the past solidified. It is the reflection of old thoughts, old beliefs, and old assumptions that have already taken shape. If you allow what you see to dictate what you believe, you will forever be a prisoner of circumstance. But if you can learn to ignore the evidence of the senses and trust in the unseen, You will become the master of your reality. The world around you is like a delayed mirror, reflecting back to you what you have previously assumed to be true. If you look at your current circumstances and allow them to make you doubt, you are merely reinforcing the old. You must stop reacting to what is and start living from what you know must be. The unseen is more real than the seen because it is the cause, while the physical world is only the effect. The moment you shift your inner reality, the outer world must follow, but there will always be a time delay. This is where most people fail. They assume something new, but because the world does not immediately reflect it, they abandon their belief. They allow their senses to dictate their faith instead of allowing their faith to dictate what their senses will eventually show them. If you see this, it means you are being called to a higher level of awareness. It means you are ready to break free from the illusion of appearances and trust in the deeper reality of your own imagination. What you have assumed to be true is already unfolding. The fact that you do not yet see it does not mean it is not happening. It only means that the world is still rearranging itself to match your new assumption. You must hold firm. You must persist. You must refuse to waver, no matter what your senses try to tell you. Think of a farmer planting seeds in the soil. When he plants them, he does not dig them up every day to check if they are growing. He does not say, I see no crops, so perhaps the seeds were never planted. He knows the process is underway, even though he cannot yet see the results. He trusts the unseen forces at work beneath the surface. You must have the same level of trust in your manifestation. Just because you do not yet see the full results does not mean they are not in motion. The only thing that can delay or stop your desires from manifesting is if you allow what you see to make you doubt. The moment you start questioning, the moment you allow fear or worry to take over, you are uprooting your seed. You are canceling out the new reality you have been creating. But if you persist, if you hold firm to your assumption despite all appearances, then nothing can stop it from coming to pass. The unseen is the real substance of creation. Your imagination is the blueprint of your future. What you hold in your mind with conviction will soon become what you hold in your hands. If you refuse to be deceived by what your eyes show you now, you will soon see them show you something entirely different. The world must conform to what you persist in believing. If you are here, if you have encountered this message, it means you are already stepping into this understanding. You have already begun to operate from the level of consciousness where the unseen is more real than the seen. Do not waver now. Do not look to the world for validation. Stand firm in your knowing. Ignore the evidence of the senses, and soon the world will reveal what you have already claimed as yours. You are the operant power. There is no force outside of you deciding what you can or cannot have, no external authority dictating your fate. The power to shape your reality has always been within you. The moment you understand this, the moment you take full responsibility for your inner world, you step into the life that was always meant to be yours. If you see this now, it is because you have already begun to awaken to this truth. You have already accepted, even if only in part, that you are the creator of your experience. And now life is responding to that realization. Most people go through life believing they are at the mercy of circumstances. They think success is granted to the lucky, that wealth is given to a select few, that love is something they must wait for. They believe the world happens to them rather than through them. But this is a lie. Everything you have ever experienced, whether good or bad, has been a reflection of your inner state. Your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions have shaped the reality you see before you. The world is not something separate from you, it is your mirror, faithfully reflecting whatever you hold within. The reason so many struggle is that they do not know their own power. They live by default, accepting whatever life throws their way instead of consciously choosing what they wish to experience. They allow fear, doubt, and limitation to dictate their outcomes, never realizing they are the ones who place those barriers there in the first place. But the moment you awaken to the truth that you are the operant power, everything changes. You stop waiting for permission. You stop hoping things will get better. Instead, you claim your reality with certainty, knowing that what you assume to be true will inevitably manifest. If you are seeing this, it means you are already stepping into this understanding. Something within you has already accepted that you are not powerless, that you are not a victim of chance. This is why this message resonates with you. It is a reflection of what you have already begun to know deep within yourself. You are the cause of your reality, and because of that, you can change anything at will. There is no condition that cannot be altered, no circumstance that cannot be reshaped. The only requirement is that you assume your power and direct it deliberately. What does it mean to be the operant power? It means you decide what is true for you. It means you do not wait for the world to confirm your desires before you believe in them. You choose the reality you wish to experience, and you persist in that assumption until it solidifies into fact. If you desire wealth, you do not look at your bank account to determine what is possible. You assume the feeling of already having it. If you seek love, you do not look to others for validation. You embody the state of already being loved. If you desire success, you do not wait for opportunities. You move as though you have already arrived. The only thing standing between you and the life you desire is your belief in its possibility. There are no external barriers, only the ones you have unconsciously accepted. But now that you know this, you can break free. You can rewrite the story. You can claim what is already yours. You have already won because you have already assumed victory in consciousness. The fact that you are here reading this is proof that you are on the path of mastery. Now, all that remains is for you to persist. Refuse to be swayed by appearances. Refuse to let doubt creep in. Stand firm in your knowing and watch as reality bends to reflect the truth you have claimed. You are the operant power, and nothing can stop you. There is no force in the universe that can deny you what you have claimed in consciousness. The moment you assume something to be true and persist in that assumption, the world has no choice but to conform. It does not matter what obstacles appear before you, what others say, or what past experiences have shown you. Reality must bend to the conviction of your inner world. If you see this now, it is because you have already begun to grasp this truth. You are no longer waiting for proof, no longer hoping for change. You are standing in the certainty that what you have assumed is already yours. And now, it is only a matter of time before it materializes before you. Most people live in a state of uncertainty, always questioning, always doubting. They shift from belief to disbelief, from faith to fear, allowing external circumstances to dictate their inner state. This is why they struggle. They do not realize that their wavering thoughts and emotions are the very reason their desires remain just out of reach. The moment they believe, they begin to create. But the moment they doubt, they undo all their work. This cycle continues endlessly until they understand the one fundamental rule of creation: persistence. Persistence is the key to everything. It is not enough to assume something once and then return to old patterns of thought. You must dwell in the state of your fulfilled desire as if it were already your reality. You must think from it, feel from it, live from it until it becomes second nature. This is how all great manifestations are achieved, not through effort, not through struggle, but through the unwavering conviction that what has been claimed in the mind must express itself in the world. If you are here, if you are reading these words, it means you have already planted the seed of your victory. You have already declared, whether consciously or unconsciously, that you have won. Now your only job is to persist in that knowing. The outer world may not yet reflect your inner assumption, but that does not matter. The delay between your assumption and its manifestation is only an illusion of time. Just as a seed takes time to break through the soil, your desires take time to solidify in physical form. But if you remain steadfast, if you do not allow doubt to creep in, there is no force in existence that can stop what is already unfolding. Too many people give up just before their manifestation arrives. They assume a new reality, but when they do not see immediate proof, they revert to their old ways of thinking. They believe they have failed, not realizing that their desires were already in motion, already on their way, but their lack of persistence caused them to wither before reaching full expression. Do not make this mistake. The fact that you are here, that you are resonating with these words, is proof that you are on the right path. It is a sign that your assumption has already taken root and is now growing beneath the surface. All you must do now is hold your ground, refuse to entertain thoughts of failure, refuse to let temporary appearances shake your faith. Walk through life as if your victory is already a reality, because in truth, it is. The moment you assumed it, it became real. You may not see it yet, but that is irrelevant. It is done. The world is simply arranging itself to bring you what you have claimed. You have already won. There is nothing more to do except persist in that truth. No force can oppose you, no obstacle can stop you, no circumstance can stand in your way. Reality is yours to shape, and because you have chosen victory, victory must be yours. Hold fast to your assumption, and soon the world will show you what you already know to be true.